Here we can see 4 triangles, downward facing, and 4 triangles upward facing. What is this actually? So let me explain this before we go into understanding Lalita Tripura Sundari Mata. You know what is happening over here? This is Shiva consciousness. I have made those triangles with yellow gold color, and the downward facing triangles are Shakti, the creative force. You know what is the upward triangle representing? The upward triangle here represents leaving every material thing and joining with Shiva, cosmic consciousness. And what it shows in the downward is going towards the world. Downward triangle is going towards the world, going towards creativity, creating, manifesting, creating the solid objects. So whatever solid, tangible things which can be touched by hand, you create. You create matter from energy. So matter appears, but energy is the foundation. So Shakti is the creative force. What is Ichha Shakti and Gyan Shakti and Kriya Shakti? You know, the Jnana, the Gyan, it is actually the knowledge, Saraswati. Ichha, you should have a desire first. In the thought, the desire is there, right? The bija, the seed of desire. This is what it is being said over here. In your mind, so many thoughts come. But when a creative thought comes, something to create, before it comes in as a thought, in the consciousness, a bubble is created. So before even you get the thought, something is happening. There is a bija, there is a seed that's sprouting. There is no language over there, no sound over there. That is Paravani, okay, which is beyond our Vani. So it is Paravani. Then there is Pashyanti, there is thought. Then Madhyama, where you are analyzing the thoughts. Like, how will you do it? How will you create something? How will you do it? How all the visualization. Then Vaikhari is when you actually say it with your speech, with your tongue. You use the tongue to say that I will do like this. You know, you use the voice. That is Vaikhari. So there are so many things that happen before a word is said. That is Vaikhari. Okay. So from Paravani to Vaikhari is the journey. So same way, there are so many processes, you know, in your life that goes through before you become ripe. There are so many processes that you go through before creating something. So creation is not just happening in one day. It happens through a lot of evolution, a lot of processes. This is Shakti. There is 4 triangles trying to hold on to the creative force, the prana, and the energies that actually helps to hold on to things. These are the energies that hold on to things, because if you have to join one block to another, you have to hold on, right? The two block needs to hold on to each other. So that is what it is being shown over here, that energy is needed to hold on. So if you want to hold on to something in your life, if you want to attract wealth, this is downward facing triangles. If you want to move towards material world, it is downward facing triangles. If you want to join with the cosmic consciousness, Shiva consciousness, that is upward facing triangles. Why Shiva is leaving things? You know how Shiva lives? He lives very in minimalistic manner actually. So one mrikchal or bakchal, you know, he wears. There is Trishul, one astra is there. He wears Rudraksh, all this, in living in isolation. There's no home, proper home arrangement. So Shiva consciousness is about leaving. It is actually when you leave all the thoughts and you are in the consciousness, stable. So that is actually Adra Nakshatra, and Moola is that Shakti. So there is two things. Shiva from Sahasrara going to Mooladhar. That story you remember when Ganesh is protecting the Mooladhar. Actually Ganesh was protecting Mata Parvati. He was given the duty to guard the doors of Mata Parvati. Remember in the Kailash it happened, and Shiva came back after a long tapasya austerity and found out that Ganesh is standing. He doesn't know who is Ganesh because Ganesh was born when Shiva was absent from Kailash. From the dirt of Parvati's skin, Ganesh came into being. Okay, and Shiva came back and he started questioning, who are you? Why are you standing over here? I want to meet my wife. And Ganesh was not willing to open the door, and he was protecting it. He wanted to fight. A big fight happened. We all know that story more or less. And what happened is that in that fight, Ganesh's head was removed by the Trishul, the trident. The trident just hit the neck and Ganesh's head was removed. When Shiva wants to meet Shakti, there cannot be any ego. Second thing, Shakti goes from Mooladhar to Sahasrara to meet the Parama Shiva consciousness. Shakti then also comes down into the Sansara to perform creation. So Shakti is going up to Sahasrara and then coming down to Mooladhara. So this is the transition where the song comes is Shama Sangit. If you know, তুমি দমশা মর্তে এক ডুবে যাও কুলো কুণ্ডলিনীর কুলে, কুলো কুণ্ডলিনীর কুলে, কুলো কুণ্ডলিনীর কুলে, right? So what actually happens over there? She is going one doob means one dive, and she is going into the Mooladhar. And why am I discussing right now this one is because if you see, Jupiter right now in the space is moving towards the constellation of Ashlesha. What better than this? Transit is just showing that it's just at the entry of Ashlesha. Ashlesha is like the snake coiling around, two snakes coiling around. It shows in the doctor symbol. You see that same thing is actually in the Kundalini also, coiling around, coiling. So the Shakti sleeps, resting position. She is sleeping in the Mooladhar. Shiva comes to meet, and Ganesha is protecting the Mooladhar. So what is happening? If you have to meet Shiva, or if Shiv has to meet Shakti, the ego has to go. So the Ganesha's head is actually the ego. It goes. When there is ego, then two people cannot meet. Same way, when there is too much of ego, balance is not there in the samsara. So cooperation is needed. Shiva is like this upward triangle is like, if you draw upward triangle, you might lose your job. If you keep drawing upward triangle, you might lose your job. And if you keep drawing downward triangle, you might get stuck into your job as well. So like if you really want to hold on to something or someone, and that is good for you, you can draw it, the downward triangle. If you really want to make something out of your creativity and material world, you can draw it. For material world, like gaining wealth, it's necessary. Like you as a Shiva consciousness, or as a sadhaka, or as an spiritual aspirant, if you're in the Shiva realm and you say that I don't need Shakti, it doesn't work like that. Everybody needs to understand that both Shakti and Shiva are important. And if you say I don't need Shiva, that also doesn't work. So I will explain Sri Chakra later. First, we need to understand that everything, the energy has to go down to create something, and you have to leave everything to join cosmic consciousness. Like, if you really want to meet Ishvara, you can meet in both ways. This is what it is being shown over here.